Hello, my name's James Watling. Welcome to the Peep studio in the centre of Newcastle. As we had mentioned before, this is not a live show. We've now moved the live show to world headquarters, also in the centre of Newcastle, and the first official live show from that venue will be coming soon. So today we're back in the studio for our first unboxing. I don't know if ceremony is the right word, but we're going to have an unboxing segment. We have a new influencer with Peep, and it is Starprosports.com, which is a boxing and fight equipment retailer, online retailer. They have various things such as gloves and pads and kick shields catering to boxing, kickboxing and mixed martial arts. So they checked out our show and they like what we do, and they were gracious enough to send some items to us who we're going to unbox for you today. But what we're going to be doing with this unboxing, we're going to talk a little bit about the equipment. We're going to talk about a little bit of the technical specs, which I've carefully handwritten out. Initial thoughts on the products, and then we're going to road test them. Not today, but we're going to road test them, and for that I'm going to involve myself because my background is as an ex-professional kickboxer, K1 fighter, Muay Thai fighter, running at high level with various British European titles and world title rankings to my name. So I'm going to be taking some of this equipment out, testing it. We're going to have Mr. Baz Jones, one of our long-time fans and one of the greatest padmen and boxing coaches in the Northeast, who's going to be, he doesn't know yet, we're going to give him some of the equipment to test out, some of the pads. We're going to be working together on that. Matthew Stark, the King of the North, one of the Team Alpha fighters, a close friend of mine, a Team Alpha kind of veteran, and a blue belt in power kickboxing. He's 14-0 at the minute on the unlicensed circuit. He just won on Saturday night, fantastic knockout. We're going to give one or two bits of equipment to Matthew to test out. And also my good friend and former training partner, Stevie Hellraiser Ibbison, who's a former junior world champion, European champion, dual champion, who's still an active K1 fighter, who's also opened a new gym recently in Shiremore, I believe. We're going to be doing a bit of coverage on that gym, but also looking at some of that the equipment which we lend him and give to him rather, and get his opinion on that. So without further ado, let's get the box. We have a set of gel wraps as well. Anything else is a compromise. I'm not sure if they mean me or the Starpro hand wrap specifically. That will resonate a little bit more today, I think, particularly in the studio. I'm only kidding. Or maybe not. Super inner glove padded. This seems sizes small, medium, large. This is your gel wrap, your standard gel wrap. So as an alternative to just using hand wraps, you have the gel wrap. So you basically just fit this on, and it'll have the Velcro fastenings around the wrist to give some wrist support and an extra cushion in there for the knuckles. Yep, extra cushioning for the knuckles there. So the gel inside just give you that extra cushioning, as I say, along with the gloves. So we'll be road testing these as well. Yep. Next we have, on that theme, the grappling gloves. So your kind of Starpro mixed standard, it says economy grappling glove, but it's really a standard Starpro mixed martial arts glove, which is rather nice there. My old fight colours, red and white. I was just about to say they're very, very light, and it does say on the back ultra light. Outer shell in PU material, which is kind of a type of, as it said, material, quite easy to clean and light, resistant foam for better durability, and a Velcro and rigid band strap closure for optimum support. So a lovely set of, I think these will be their basic range, like a starter range for the mixed martial artist out there. So they're quite interesting. We're going to give them to an athlete. Or these, what I should have said as well, what I will say, is not all of this equipment we're going to be road testing. Some of it we're going to be giving away on the first live show. So stay tuned for that. Next we have the traditional, can't be an unboxing without a set of hand wraps, so I guess these will be a standard size, or they do look quite long. Black bandages, 140 centimeters, so let's go with that. So you want to do the measurements out there. They are, as I say, elasticated, which I prefer because it gives you a little bit of kind of give rather than just the fabric ones that kind of hold your hand in place, which can be sometimes more dangerous than not wearing wraps. You need a little bit of, you want the support, but also the give too, so you can move your hands and your bones don't become too compact. So they're the basic hand wrap there, lovely little hand wrap. Okay, next we have, because we're going to talk about the C20 gloves today, but I'm just going to show you these. These are the ones that I'm quite fond of. The training boxing glove, the M33 Starpro. Again, it's got that lovely black and kind of fluorescent graphics there, which I think stand out lovely. Quite simple but very effective. And again, this will be a glove that we'll be going more in depth to. This is a training boxing glove. And a 14-ounce glove. So for those who are wondering about sizes of glove, that's a 14-ounce. Now, for me, I would use a 10, 12, or 14-ounce to hit pads and gloves with. Although some people would use 14 ounces for sparring. So certainly that's a glove you could use, say, as a beginner for sparring with, or an intermediate could use that to either spar or to hit the pads. And the 33 range, that seems to go alongside with the head guards as well. So they're a lovely little item. Okay. And the 33 Starpro, we have the training curved focus mitts. These I'm actually gonna, because they're in a zip, so should we take these out, just have a quick look. That should be interesting. Yes, there you go. The M33 Starpro training mitt, the curved focus mitt. Going to give you a little bit of technical specs on these, even though it's not a full in-depth. It's a PU material again, so it's an artificial leather which cleans easily. It's a non-slip material for the grip for better comfort, and it's EVA foam for better absorption of the shock from the pads. So I believe these pads here, we're going to try these out with Baz. Just so we can get, I quite fancy these myself. Look at these bad boys. They're very light. They've got a little bit of extra padding on the inside of the palm there to cushion the shot, and the obligatory Velcro fastening. So these are kind of your standard, but very, very well made focus pads. The M33s there. So that would be something just for more speed work, I would say, than power. Although you could certainly, I'm sure, use it for both. The Starpro curved focus mitts. So this is something we're going to, well, with all the equipment, we're going to road test all of it. I can't give you a comment today. All I can give you really is my initial thoughts and impressions and some of the technical specs. I can't say to you, oh, they're very hard wearing, because other than just reading a review, which I'm not going to do, I want to use these myself and test these out, and we can get back to you in a month's time, and then perhaps even 3 months time, and 6 months time, and a year's time, and just tell you how well they've worn over the the upcoming training sessions and use. And again, with the neon black branding and graphics and stitching, so your 33 range is obviously meant to be kind of a uniform range there. So let's look at a little bit more on these. I'm going to open these. These are the C20 Starpro gloves. Yeah, we're going to put that box down there. The Starpro gloves. So these are your training boxing gloves. I'm just going to read what it says on here. And these are for women, apparently. So Starpro boxing glove for women. So I don't know. I mean, do we not live in a world where everything's we can cross it over? Does it just have to be for women? Yep. I'll just put my pen down. Does it have to be? It's black, and it's quite interesting because they're black and white, and your kind of stereotypical view of a lady's boxing range would be pink. So, and these aren't. So let's have a little look at these. We're going to talk a little bit more about these Starpro gloves. Now, weight-wise, this should be on here. 14 ounce. These are also 14 ounce boxing gloves. The Starpro Hydra-Flow range. Perhaps these could be part of a giveaway in an upcoming episode. Velcro fast. I was going to give you some of the tech specs before I really kind of give my own personal view on them as we're in the studio. So let's have a little look. So we have 100% high quality synthetic leather. So again, it's not it's not a true leather, but it's a synthetic leather. Okay. They have a Hydra-Flow technology, which keeps them cool and dry. So I imagine as we look on the inside there, we've got the Hydra-Flow branding, but it's the material's designed so as your hand heats up and sweats, that the sweat and the heat can kind of pass through, so you don't get the same yeah, as I'm putting my hand in there, I don't know if you can catch it on the camera, but it's hard to see, but you can kind of just see the outline of my hand, or the you know, the flat of my hand there, the skin through the material. So it's breathable material, okay? Has shock absorbing foam padding, so it's got extra padding here in the knuckles just to absorb the shock from either hitting the bags or if you were to spar with these. And the Mono-Tec provides additional wrist support. Let's see if that's branded on the wrist as Mono-Tec. So we're assuming the technology is the idea that it gives you, as it said, more support, and perhaps the way it's designed and the way it's structured to offer that wrist support. Now, but as I put that in there, I do feel, even though it'll be a bit high on the wrist, a lot of support from the strap there, which is the Mono-Tec design, okay, or branding, or trademark rather, and the foam padding. So I mean, for me, that feels like a lovely, well-fitted glove. It is too small, as I've said before, because it is designed for the smaller hand, and that does feel a comfortable kind of everyday use type of glove. I'm just gonna, there we go, on the Starpro. Now, we're not going to go too much in depth on the rest of the items today. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to open these gloves just as a comparison. I think that will be quite interesting if I can open them. An ex-professional fighter with an 80% knockout ratio who can't even open a bag. There's something wrong. Right, if we look at these M33s in comparison to the C20s, okay, let's have a look at this. Let's just do a little bit of a comparison here as we lay them side by side, okay. Yeah, they seem to be of a similar length, but let's try these out. They're both 14-ounce gloves. There, that's better. That fits a little bit further down on the wrist there. And I imagine that has the same kind of technology, yeah? So they're a 14-ounce glove. Now for my hand, I think these may, again I'm saying I think, but these may well be a medium style fit, even though they're a 14 glove. So for my own hands, I probably would want something a little bit bigger. They do seem a little bit small for my hands. That being said though, they do feel comfortable even with the smaller size. And what's also interesting is that these also have the Hydra-Flow technology. So the idea is that these are designed to allow the heat and the moisture to kind of breathe, and so the hand is allowed to breathe and not get too hot. Because one of the main complaints with gloves would be, your hands are getting too hot, you're sweating, and certainly for those who are kind of training more for fitness than actual fighters, because if a fighter's complaining about his hand getting too hot, well, there's more for you to worry about. So what we've got here then is the C20 gloves laid out next to the M33 Starpros with that lovely black and fluorescent branding. Just going to run over some of the technical specs of the C20s, which is the 100% high quality synthetic leather, which they both have. The Hydra-Flow Tech, which as we turn them over, you can see the Hydra-Flow Tech branding on the palm there, essentially. Shock absorbing protection foam padding, which you can feel. These are more of what I would call a rounded glove, like a rounded style of glove. I was against a squarer glove, which I enjoy and like. And the Mono-Tec wrist support. It doesn't have the Mono-Tec stitching or branding or wording on there, but the wrists on both sets of gloves are designed just to give you that extra wrist support. So if I just kind of do this side by side, you can kind of see the back and front of the wrist there and how that's meant to support. And if I turn that glove over, you can see this Hydra-Flow technology there, allowing the hand to breathe, which was really interesting. So what we have here then is the C220 gloves, okay, which are suggested a women's 14-ounce kind of day-to-day training glove. We have the Starpro M33s, which are a slightly more advanced glove, again, which would be for maybe the more committed trainer, okay, or even somebody who wants to start and get a glove, a higher, let's say a high quality glove from the get-go. We have the Starpro hand wraps, which are elasticated. I'm a little bit confused on the length of those, but they look to be potentially 3.5 meters, okay. We have the standard gel wraps in medium, which incorporate the wrist protection, wrist support, and the extra knuckle gel protection. We have the C30 mixed martial arts gloves, which they call them an economy grappling glove, but really this is not an economy made, not an economy made glove, but a glove that would be suggested for a beginner, somebody who's just getting into the mixed martial arts. Yeah, but you know, into the mixed martial arts. So let's open these, have a little look. These are very, very light. The C30 Starpro mixed martial arts gloves. These are really light. Let's have a little look at these. So I believe these are a medium. These are your standard mixed martial arts with the extra wrist protection here and the knuckle protection as well. They're kind of what we call a closed palm design. Let's try one of these on, because like I say, my hands are not that big. Right, there. That's a. I believe this is a medium glove, because again, this is probably just a little bit small for my hands, but as I'm wrapping it up there, that does feel nice and comfortable. Now they're quite tight on the as I make a fist, but you can see there they've got the detachment on the two sets of padding to allow the knuckle to bend, and like a pair of trainers, the more you wear them, the more comfortable that they will become. Okay, there's nice protection there on the knuckles, obviously for striking. These are not a sparring gloves, these are for, you know, for pads, or potentially a competition glove, but I imagine as an economy style glove, these would be for those, you know, maybe the younger ones or those who are just getting into mixed martial arts training, want their first set of MMA gloves. Lovely wrist support as well. I imagine that has the Mono-Tec technology, yeah, and easy to get on and off. And they're a very, very light mixed martial art glove. I'm a big fan of these, I have to say. The M33 Starpro curved focus mitt. I love as I said, the graphics and the color scheme. I love the weight of them there, the feel as you put them on. They're a nice fit there. They are what I would term more of like a speed type of focus mitt, because they're quite a reasonably small surface area, not too small, but a reasonably small surface area. Although you could use those for maybe the medium heavy puncher, but working on his speed. But you could take a certain amount of, I'm sure, impact, because they do have that extra cushioning there. Is it the shock protecting foam padding there? But these do have, if we just refer to the page here, yeah, the EVA foam that it's used, similar to what's in the gloves, just for that shock absorbing technology. So I'm really keen to try those out, and I think anybody there who wants their first set of focus mitts, so if you're a boxing or kickboxing gym or an MMA gym looking to, you know, to get a new set of focus mitts for your gym, you couldn't go far wrong with the Starpro. It's actually starprosports.com, starprosports.com. So if you'd like to go online with those chaps and make your purchases there. I'm not sure if we have a discount code we can give you. For example, if you had a discount code of peep1, but that isn't official. I'll need to confirm that. But as I say, they are one of our newest influencers on Peep Live, so I'm sure they'll be happy for us to direct traffic to them. So the last one, just to have a little look at, just take out the bag here, the M33 Pro head guard. Again, it's very, very light here. I'm just going to, fully adjustable here at the back. I believe, yeah, we have a double adjustment here with the flap there, so it can measure to the side of the cranium to the head. That can just kind of velcro over one of the straps, and then the ceiling strap comes over the top, so it takes into account, you know, the width and the kind of the diameter of your head, of the old cranium. And it's very, very light. It has the cheekbone protectors and the chin protectors, you know, as well as a cushion in there. And I imagine it would have that the high-end Evo foam technology just to absorb impact. And that's a medium. I don't think I need to really try that on, do I? But is a standard kind of fit. But what it also has inside, which I'm quite a fan of, is the fabric seems to be designed not just to absorb impact, but also to stay, so it doesn't slip and slide on the head. Okay, so this kind of material here, once you put that on, that will not so much stick, but hold to the skin, so you're not going to get as much travel on the head guard once you've got it on. And this is a medium size. Yeah, this is a medium size. You can see the branding there comes alongside with the gloves. You've got the M33 gloves and the M33 head guard, and of course the M33 focus mitts. So they kind of come in a set, and they look to be a set there. So, thank you to starprosports.com. Once again, that's Starprosports.com, one of our newest influencers on Peep, who have been very graciously sent us a box of equipment here just to look at and to have an unboxing and a light review. As I say, it's a static review because we've just opened it now, just got the box come in. We've just got these tech specs on the equipment. We haven't had a chance to try it out. The idea is we're going to take some of this onto the road, so to speak, try it out, come back with some live reviews or on the road reviews into some of the gyms. We're maybe over at the Manor Gym or maybe down at the Quayside in the centre of Newcastle testing things out. Maybe a few interviews with some of the fighters and coaches such as Baz and Baz Jones, Matthew Stark, Steve Ibbotson, find out their opinions on the equipment. And for you, the viewer, we'll also be giving some of this away in a question on our first live show coming up to you soon from World Headquarters, so watch out for that. I should give a shout out to our man in Scotland, Mr. Chris Reed, my co-presenter on the road. If you haven't already subscribed, if you can hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button if you would like to have notifications. If not, please hit that subscribe button. If you've enjoyed this, hit the like button, and remember to follow us on Twitter, on Instagram. It's been an absolute pleasure to be with you today. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing, and I hope you've enjoyed those technical specs on the equipment. A big thank you to Starprosports.com for sending us all this wonderful equipment. Stay tuned for further features on Peep Live. It's been an absolute pleasure to have us with us today to view this tremendous unboxing. Peep out.